Surprise, motherfucker! What's up? This is your friendly neighborhood, Venger Satanis. Friendly neighborhood prospector, too. I will put a link in the description below. I wrote a blog post this morning trying to outline the salient points of the debate that RPG Pundit and I had last night. This has been a discussion, debate that's been raging for years, literally years, between Pundit and I. He's of the opinion that story gaming is just complete garbage, and I am of the opinion that once you divorce story gaming from certain aspects, namely the communism, there's value there. And sort of like a combined approach can be the best of both worlds. A living world and also a living story. So yeah, visit the blog post, read about that, and then in the blog post I also link to last night's episode of Inappropriate Characters, where for about, 15 or 20 minutes we kind of like hash it out, and then also our co-host and our special guest were there as well. Mad Scribe Games, give it up for him. And so yeah, I think it's a really good discussion. I think it's something worthy to be discussed. And sometimes it's hard to parse out because a lot of, and this is, I don't know if this is my opinion or if this is just generally accepted wisdom or understanding, that a lot of things that have been at the hobby in its beginning and all the way along, story game type ideas and concepts have filtered through traditional role-playing games, like all the way along, to the point where sometimes we don't even notice it. I'll give you an example. Let's say the players are, or the PCs are exploring this dungeon, and they come across, in this wizard's library, a bookshelf filled with books. And there's a lot of different ways, obviously, that you can approach this as a game master. What I would probably generally do at this point in time now is I would present that information like it's a bookshelf, it's filled with books, all different kinds of books. And they might ask me like, well, what kind of books? And I'll be like, books on a variety of subjects, some of them magical, some not. And then they would ask me like, oh, well, is there a book on like necromancy? And then I would roll a d6, and I would give that, for instance, a 2 in 6 chance, which is just kind of my default, for there being yes. So if I rolled a d6 and it came up a 1 or a 2, I would be like, yes. During your search, I would probably also outline ahead of time, like, are you going to spend more than a minute or two? Are you going to spend several minutes looking around this bookshelf? Or are you just going to, if you're only going to spend 5 seconds on it before going to the next thing, then, maybe just pick a book at random. But if let's say they are spending some time to search the bookshelf to see what kind of books there are, maybe the quality and type, and see if there's any kind of, alphabetical order. But yeah, if they want a specific book on necromancy, I would give it a 2 in 6 chance. So let's say they do. I roll a 1 or a 2. I'd be like, yes, you find a book on necromancy. And then maybe another player, perhaps the same one, asks, oh, well, is there a book on demonology? And then the same thing. Let's say I rolled a 4. No, there isn't. And as you can see, I don't know if I need to spell it out. There's, story gaming in there, because it's not just me determining through my roles what exact books are there. The players, through their asking, are creating a chance for something that they had in mind to exist in the game world. And that's a little bit of story gaming that has entered through my games, but I was open to it, and so and a lot of times I encourage that. Not everybody does. Some people, like Pundit, are dead set against any kind of story gaming. They don't want to get their chocolate in the peanut butter. They just want a complete separation between the two things, and never the twain shall mix. But I'm of the opposite opinion, where I think a mix of both of those things can create a better, improved final result. So read the blog post, link down there, see what you think. Am I right? Is Pundit right? Neither of us right. Maybe you have your own opinion on that. I would like to hear it. And good show last night on Inappropriate Characters. And I think the highlight was that debate. There was a little bit of talking over each other, but that's just because we had 4 people that were very passionate about the subject and kind of wanted to get our point across. And if we heard something that we liked or we didn't like, we wanted to chime in. But I think the blog post itself, kind of without all the noise and the back and forth discussion, kind of delineates the two choices. And I hope I get across why I think both is better. All right, you be the judge. I would love to hear your feedback. It's Monday, so have a great week.